Yep, the bad news, guys, just keeps on rolling in for Diddy. And last night, the judge has spoken. So Judge Arun, of course, was asked about the place where Diddy was going to be moved to. And of course, the defense want Diddy to be moved to this jail in New Jersey. This is where they prefer him to be. They don't want him to be in the New York area. They don't want him to be anywhere near the MDC. They want him in New Jersey, and they want him at Fort Dix because there is a specific RDAP program, which, you know, a lot of people did mention that he might not be qualified for because of the fact that he is an offender and because of the violence that was used. But it is interesting to note, before I get into the rest of this video, that the judge himself did say that P. Diddy does qualify. The judge has said that in his new statement today, that Diddy qualifies to be part of any kind of program like this, which means that he definitely is going to be out of prison far sooner than expected. I wouldn't be surprised if this man was out of prison end of next year. However, read between the lines of this statement and what it implies, which is why this is not good news for Diddy at all. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Daily and consistent content. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below, join Murad Nation, become a Muradic, click that button and subscribe every day. Fresh content. And let's get straight into the rest of this video. Listen carefully, please. According to new legal documents, Judge Arun, guys, stops short of naming a specific prison where Diddy should do hard time and instead says that Diddy should stay close to home. He basically is denying Diddy being moved to New Jersey, Fort Dix. He does not want him to be moved there, which I did not expect, because the government themselves came out in a statement to say they don't oppose Diddy being moved to New Jersey. They don't care what prison he goes to. They don't want that, but the judge is saying something different. Besides geography, the judge says that Diddy should be shipped off to a prison with any available substance abuse program, including the Bureau of Prisons Residential Drug Abuse Program, RDAP, for which he qualifies. That's what they have stated. They state that he wants Diddy to be moved to a federal prison which is as close to the New York metropolitan area as possible. That's what the judge Arun said. He says, I don't want you in New Jersey. I want you in New York. I want you close to the New York metropolitan area as possible. Not the MDC if you don't want to be there, but to any other prison in New York, a federal prison in New York. I don't want you going all the way over to New Jersey, let alone any other state. Now, why would Judge Arun come out and say that? If the government have publicly stated that they do not oppose P. Diddy being moved to New Jersey, the government has no stance on this. The government are the one that are trying to prove Diddy is guilty, drag him through court, criminally prosecute him, and etc. Put all these charges on him, and most of them failed. Why would they not oppose? But Judge Arun now is coming out to say, I don't want you over there. He has declined that motion, saying, I don't want you over there. It's up to the Bureau of Prisons, but I don't want you over there. I want you over in New York. You can do these programs if you want. You qualify for them. You can get out of jail early if you want, but I want you closer to the New York metropolitan area. And this is why I strongly believe this. This is what the PD docket has stated. With a majority of 62 out of 86 active civil cases currently in New York State or the Southern District of New York Court and New York-based civil attorneys, they basically want him as close to possible to the New York metro area, which makes sense because if anything proceeds to trial out of all of these civil cases, Diddy can easily be brought out from the New York new jail that he's going to be in into the courthouse. Boom. That in itself implies, the judge is implying, I don't want you anywhere but closer to the New York metropolitan area because you're going to go through more trials. You're going to be showing up. You're going to be in more courtrooms. You could be facing another indictment coming your way, especially as recent as these Busby minor cases, where one of the minor cases has come forth with their first and second government name, publicly showing their identity, which adds credibility to that case. The judge is also implying that I don't want you over there because this ain't wrapped up for you yet. This is just getting started. That's what this implies, and it's dangerous. That's really not good news for, you know, the defense. They're going to be looking at this thinking, the government don't care where we want to put Diddy. We want to put him in New Jersey. Why is Judge Arun coming out with this statement? Why is he saying that we can't go to New Jersey? What is he trying to imply here? Why does he want him? The judge said we want you as close as possible to the New York metropolitan area. Why? There has to be a reason for everything. Why? So he's saying and implying here without saying and implying much, which to me is very dangerous for Diddy, because now he's got a lot stacked against him. And it is true. 62 of the 86 current, he's facing 86 current civil cases. 62 out of 86 of them are in New York. whether it's going to be a criminal prosecution or purely a civil trial coming his way, the man is going to be in court again. The man is going to go through another trial again. The man has to show up again. And he's going to be coming out of his federal prison in New York to go to the courtroom and then go back to the New York prison. How could that be possible if he was in New Jersey, then coming to court in New York, then going all the way back to Jersey? The commute is way too long. And if the commute is way too long, then, the government is spending way too much money to transport Diddy back and forth. They want to make it as simple as possible for them. That is why they're saying keep your ass in New York, because you're facing a lot more cases coming your way. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Judge Arun is snapping back. And I also feel like he's doing this because, the defense lawyers were very rude, talking about how he's the 13th juror. And that, that's basically what moving him to that is so disrespectful and underhanded, and doesn't help when it comes to the appeal that they are planning. They've got a full appeal that they are having in motion, that they are developing right now, which, articles are stating, and that is the next legal battle that Diddy is going to be facing against the judge and against prosecution, is this appeal. Sentencing done, verdict done. Now we have the appeal, which probably will have a date, I'm guessing, for sometime in mid-November, December this year, where that's all going to happen. I'm guessing they want to wrap this up before Luigi Mangione takes place, because that's going to bring a lot of press, and that in itself is going to happen, I believe, at the same Southern District of New York around end of February, and so that's going to have a media circus. So I'm guessing by then the appeal will be wrapped up for Diddy, and I'm pretty sure they want to keep that objective. So we're going to see what P. Diddy and his lawyers want. They want that man out of jail ASAP. They definitely want the sentence to be reduced, and they want to have these verdicts for the guilty verdicts to be taken off his back. That's what they want. So this appeal is going to be a juggernaut. I can't wait to read that motion, however long those pages are going to be. But I know that P. Diddy's lawyers are going to go in ways that they shouldn't, because they got told off before. So, but they're going to go in. They're definitely going to go in. 110%. I just know that when Nicole Westmoreland was crying in that courtroom, and I was looking at her thinking, why is she crying? She probably was getting an extra $1 million on that day. Diddy probably told her, listen, I'm going to pay you more. You're going to get a high bonus from me if you put on the theatrics and do the absolute most. That is why she was crying her eyes out and doing the most. That's probably why it was. Because I was thinking to myself, why is she doing this? Why is she crying? She's losing credibility. She's a great lawyer. This is unnecessary. But I think that she was doing that off the back of what Diddy's instructions were. Because even she said herself that her and Diddy basically speak every single day anyways. That probably was the communication when it comes to that. When it comes to the children, and for the fact that they were crying in court, really sinking in now, it definitely was some kind of pre-planned move. They've been pre-planning everything to help Diddy when it comes to the birthday posts, when it comes to talking about Kim Porter and the statements. They've been doing so on his instructions. Diddy was even texting them from a secret phone or whatever via the Bureau of Prisons, documents that came out 6 months ago. So they've been pre-planning stuff. So I'm pretty sure that the youngest girls even were said that they're going to go up there and cry their eyes off for Diddy and be actually emotional about everything going on. I don't think the emotions were completely fake, but I think there was a premeditated motive for them to go up there and do that. Because the week before that, when they had their hearing about Diddy wanting a new trial, the girls were laughing. I was sitting right behind them and I was looking at them. They were just laughing back and forth, whispering to their elder sister Chance, going back and forth and giggling about stuff and going back. Like, they were just like more, they seemed way too relaxed. And to go from that to the next week to be, crying your eyes off, they probably just got into that emotion and pre-planned that they were going to do this, and then of course exerted authentic emotion to cry. I think all of it was just pre-planned. It hit a lot of people. People got upset over it. People were crying, feeling sorry for them. And I'm just like, I didn't feel sorry for them at all. Like, I'm sad that they were crying, and I was a little teary-eyed myself, but I just kept thinking about Cassie, because she looked just like the youngest daughters when she was signing her record deal. And people are saying, oh, well, Cassie wanted this. Yeah, she did. She wanted the fast life. She wanted the #1 songs. She wanted to be one of the biggest girls in the music industry. Who doesn't? When you're at that age and you're talking to somebody like P. Diddy, of course you want that. But with that fast life that she wanted, she didn't realize that Diddy was an absolute maniac and dragged her through so many different types of freak-offs and put her in very difficult, unfortunate positions, and she withstood it because she wanted that career and that life, and then to a point where she didn't and tried to escape and she couldn't. Like, I don't know why people's rebuttal are, well, Cassie wanted this life. How does that make sense? Cassie wanted this life, therefore everything is immediately justified. Cassie wanted this life, therefore everything P. Diddy has done is okay. Sure, Cassie wanted the fast life and wanted to be a big musician, and that's why she signed with him and was excited to be with him and withstood some stuff, but that doesn't mean that she wanted to go through all of this. That man was an absolute maniac, and I guarantee you she had no idea in the first couple years of seeing him. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It's just one click to subscribe. That's all you guys have to do. Join Marauder Nation, become a Marauder. Judge Arun responded, and it ain't looking too good.